Welcome to Beyond Cyber, a podcast powered by UDT, where we talk with industry leaders from diverse backgrounds about cybersecurity, technology, and beyond to keep up to date on what's happening in the world right now. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond Cyber by UDT. My name is Ali Janatha. I'll be the host today. And today we have a very special guest joining us virtually. Her name is Sophia Pineda. She is one of my good friends and colleagues here at UDT. And she is currently studying at the University of Florida. And she is getting her master's degree in IT. Hi, Sophia.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Here at UF.
Back in school.
Yes, getting started again.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to talk about being a woman in tech and how to thrive as a woman in tech. We have a couple good questions for Sophia today, and let's just dive right into it. So our first question for Sophia is let's start by you giving us a little bit of a background about yourself and then what led you to choosing to pursue a degree and then further a career in tech.
Yeah, so basically right now I'm a senior at UF and I am in the combined degree program for information systems. So I have an undergrad in information systems and I'm pursuing my master's in IT. It's a really cool program for anyone who's looking out for something cool like that. And background, what really made me get into IT and like the cyber world was my dad. Like I was really inspired by him growing up. He's a systems engineer. So I remember just growing up and seeing him do all these cool things in Excel and having to like do presentations to the whole company online and listening to everything that he would talk about. I was just so intrigued and always wanted to learn more about like the cyber world and security and everything like that. So I just really remember looking up to him and being like, wow, I want to do that. Like, I want to sound cool like that. And I want to know what he's talking about. So that really made me get into that part of like my career. So I pursued the information systems undergrad, which is really cool. It's a little bit more broad and I was able to learn a lot more about tech. And now going into my IT master's, I'm really excited. I'm definitely learning more in depth about everything and especially security as well, which is what really intrigues me.
So, That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that you are kind of following in your parents' footsteps. That's cool. So now that you've been in school for at least 4 years now, what has been the most challenging part about your journey in tech so far?
Yeah, so when I started, I didn't know that it was like such a broad career. There's so many different industries that you can go into. You can know a lot about tech and like choose, I don't know, just to like stay online, stay doing your own thing and or getting into cybersecurity or being like SOC, a lot of different things. So basically, choosing the industry was really hard for me. I know that there's just so many things that you can do with it. For example, I had to choose between supply chain, IT, and data analytics, specifically like in my master's program.
Which
And IT. So it was like crazy for me because I was trying to do a lot of research on all of these different industries. And there's a lot that you can do. And I mean, the one that most intrigued me was IT because I feel that it kind of involved a lot of the other industries as well. So I was able to go a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like even like a degree in IT, you can do so much with it. Like there's so
Right.
many different opportunities in that industry.
Yeah. So I was excited, but it was definitely like hard for me to choose which one.
Right. Awesome. All right, so from how I know you at UDT, I got to work with you on the marketing team. You were our marketing coordinator for at least the first like 6.5 months that I got to work with you. And it was amazing having you on our team. But I kind of want to get into how you transitioned from the marketing side of UDT to now cybersecurity consulting.
Right. Yeah, so I was on the marketing team, like you said, as a coordinator. Honestly, I learned so much starting with the marketing team. I think that marketing is super important to any company, no matter what. You just learn so much. So I learned a lot about like logistics, and I learned a lot of organizational skills, which helped me further my career now. I also was able to learn a lot of information about UDT as a whole and what we do, our services, our clients, a lot about events specifically, like you know as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an amazing experience for me. And just like getting into basically cybersecurity, I was, I think, a sophomore when I started with the marketing team. So I was really young. For anyone in college or anyone who went to college, like they know that you start getting into those harder, more like actual big classes that deal with
Mm-hmm.
your career, like your major that you chose later in your junior and
Yes.
senior
Yeah,
year.
that's when you start seeing actually, oh, I did this is what I signed up for. It's not just like
Right,
the basic classes.
right, exactly. Not the prereqs that everyone has to
Mhm.
see. So as soon as I started going into those classes, I was like, okay, I have a little bit more knowledge now.
Mhm.
I think I would be like a valuable asset to the cybersecurity team. So I started talking to our boss, and she helped me with that transition over. So it was really nice. Everything was really smooth, and the cybersecurity team has also been super welcoming. So it was
Awesome.
really nice. I got a lot of insight.
So, can you tell us like one one thing you've learned since you started your job a couple weeks ago with cybersecurity? What's like one thing you learned that you didn't know you were going to be doing, going into that role?
Right. I've learned, and something that like I wanted to do even before I
Mhm.
came in was all these tests that we have to run and everything basically that we offer as a service as UDT to our clients. And like the background of how we do everything and making sure that it's like meticulous and down to the detail so that everything that we do give to our client is like very specific.
Mhm.
So it's really cool looking at all of that, looking at the scope of work of what we do for our clients and how we work together and what they expect from us. So that has been something that I had never seen before.
Mhm. Firsthand.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and I really got to like dig in and know all the nitty gritty of what we're doing. So it was really cool.
Awesome. That's cool. So, as you've been studying tech in college for the past 4 years, going on your fifth year this year, can you tell us a little bit about how it's been being a woman in tech in your classes, in college, pursuing your degree?
Yeah, of course. So tech, and not specifically like a lot of the STEM majors, are usually male dominated. So it was really funny to see how that dynamic is changing now. And it's really cool. Like, it's amazing to see that there's more women in these classes and in these majors and pursuing all of these careers. So for me, I definitely did see that when I started out, that it was a male dominated field. But honestly, that just made me push harder to get farther and achieve basically what I wanted is in like ending up in this career. I think that, you know, women like as a whole were obviously so valuable to have in all careers.
Hmm.
So it's been really cool to see how it's been expanding. And like I have a lot of friends that are women in these same classes and pursuing the same thing as me. And it's been really cool to make also those connections because we're kind of like in the same shoes. So
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, and I didn't study tech in college. I did finance and marketing, but I like that as part of my, courses, they made us take coding. So like at least it was a little bit of kind of, forcing the women to get into that and take those classes and just kind of learn about a little bit about cybersecurity, cyber tech, everything,
Yeah,
um,
100%.
which was cool. And but I love that you've seen it changing, and I think that our generation will definitely be a huge, you know, we'll
Pivot
see a
point.
huge change with our generation and women in tech. So I think that's awesome. So, with that being said, how do you feel, Sophia, about cybersecurity and its importance in our daily lives in 2023?
So, realistically, life now as we know it would not be the same without our handy dandy phone,
Mm-hmm.
our little Apple phone or Samsung, whatever it may be, or our computers. Basically, everything revolves around all your data being on some type of hardware, software, whatever it may be. It's very like I don't think it exists to have a business now that's on paper.
Yeah,
You have
no.
everything on your phone, on your computer, saved online, wherever it may be. So cybersecurity is super important, especially now in this day and age. If you look back, it used to be so different. People would go and rob banks in person and have to worry
Mm-hmm.
about one or two security cameras, and now all these hackers have to do is find one little nitpick where went wrong in your security, and they have all of your sensitive information.
Right.
So it's super important now, and specifically in our personal lives as well. To anyone that's watching, like, make sure your data is secure, make sure your passwords aren't easy, you're protecting yourself, because you never know when someone malicious is trying to get your data, and that's
Mm-hmm.
super important to have like safe and kept away. So
Yes, and to take it seriously because personally, I feel like before I came to UDT, at UDT, they take it very seriously, our security. Um, and before that, I was kind of one of the people that was like, well, like if they want to have my information, like what are they going to do? They could do bad things. So
yes,
it's definitely
100%.
something that I've learned a lot about since I've been at UDT to keep my guard up, like at all times, and take it very seriously. So yeah, that's awesome. Beyond Cyber is sponsored by UDT, where our motto is to accomplish more. We find motivation in providing our clients and partners with transformational solutions. Go to udtonline.com for more information. So let's close it out with kind of, our topic of thriving as a woman in tech. And let's finish it out with what is one piece of advice you would give to young women that want to go into a career in tech?
Yeah, so honestly, I would say if it's something that really intrigues you and that you're genuinely interested in, and like you just want to get into, don't let anything hold you back. It's scary, it's a little intimidating, but it's so worth it in the end. Like, you're going to be set. Like, this is an industry that is growing and it's only going to go up from here. If it's something that you love and you see yourself in for the future, know that you're going to be studying, and like it's never
A
going to be
lot.
ending, but it's something that is definitely like it's a pat on the back to yourself, because you're going to learn and you're going to love it. I
And
loved
this
it.
industry is not going away
No,
ever. So,
it will not. So you'll have a job all the
mhm,
time.
mhm,
But yes,
absolutely.
definitely just, I mean, follow your dream. And if this is your dream, this is what you want to get into, definitely do it.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Sophia, and thank you for giving us all the insight on how to thrive as a woman in tech. You want to say bye to our listeners?
Yes, thank you everyone so much for listening. And thank you, Ali, for all of your amazing questions.
All right, thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Beyond Cyber podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love if you give it a quick 5-star rate or share it with a friend or a colleague. Want to know more about the company behind the show? Head to udtonline.com and we'll catch you up on the next episode.